What's up, anchors?
Hello, bankers.
Let's get this over with. How's everybody doing?
How is everyone doing? Carlos Sainz hive, stand up! Where my Carlos Sainz heads at? Am I right? Am I right? People are going to
crawling out of the woodwork to say I told you so.
Yes, this is a rough day for Matt in many ways. I mean, Oscar Piastri crashes and Carlos Sainz gets a podium. I mean, that's tough. The only thing that would have made it worse is if Lando Norris would have gained a single position during this race. But guess what? He didn't. He didn't. I mean, oh my God, this week had everything except a fun race. Ultimately, I mean, Saturday
we used all our excitement up on qualifying, is what happened.
I mean, Saturday qualifying was everything. I think we're going to be talking a lot about that. But there's implications for the larger F1 season. Dude, is Max Verstappen back in this title race? We must discuss. This is, of course, the Red Flags brought to you by BetMGM. We're going to be covering all things Baku today. But before we get to that, you better have bought your tickets to our live show in Austin, live with Gunter Steiner, post-race recap. We're going to be going over everything Austin, everything this season. We're going to be doing live Gasser Break, live Rockstar Wanker. Tickets are going fast, so don't miss out. Link is in the description. Get your tickets. We're doing a proper theater, dude. We're doing a proper theater in Austin. This is a historic landmark, and they are letting us absolutely tarnish it with our podcast.
That's right.
Yeah. So get your tickets. Get your tickets. Okay. There's a lot to discuss. Do you want to start with Carlos Sainz, or should we start with the larger championship battle and these McLaren boys and the absolute mess?
Let's delay the Carlos Sainz of it all for as long as possible.
Okay. All right, well, let's start with McLaren. Lots of, a chaotic weekend. From free practice, Oscar having a mechanical issue, missing out on a portion of Friday. Lando hitting the wall on Saturday, missing out on a good portion of FP2. Then they were looking like they were still the team to beat. It seemed like Monza was one thing, but they're going to be back to finding their form in Baku. But then qualifying just threw absolute chaos into everything. The conditions were crazy. And then between the 6 red flags, one of them being Charles Leclerc, which is the reason that Carlos Sainz has a podium. Let's be honest. We'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. But then Oscar Piastri, the ice boy, the Iceman cometh, having a rare moment of humanity. I mean, dude, he bleeds. He bleeds. I mean, we've thought Oscar Piastri, that dude is a machine.
Yeah.
But then this weekend, he was looking like Lando Norris this weekend. What was going on with him?
I mean, that was Lando Norris. He loses like 1 or 2 each time. Oscar did it all of Lando's blown positions. He did it all in one.
Yes.
Like if you add up all the places that Lando has lost in a start this season.
Right. Yes. Right.
Oscar probably lost the same amount in this one start. They're probably about net even. But Oscar did it in one start.
Yeah, he went from 9th to 20th at the start of the race. I mean, Lando, he has a rep. Like, he botches starts, right? But Lando, he loses
but he does it little. He botches it like a little bit.
One or two.
He lost 1 or 2 at the restart.
He did.
And then he had a bitch of a time. I mean, Leclerc ruined his fucking race.
Yeah, he ruined his race. Another bad pit stop there. But I think this was a I could not believe my eyes. Both between him crashing during qualifying. Could not believe that happened. And then for them to false start and then crash on lap one. I could not believe my eyes. I said, "Who is this?"
I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for someone to wake me up from this nightmare. It's a nightmare.
Dude, wake me up when September ends.
Dude, I
Oscar faulted at the start. And then in turn 3 had a fart. Wake me up when September ends.
I mean, honestly, I was talking about this in the Saturday Patreon. I didn't sign up for this.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I have enough, people who are fans of Lando Norris, they kind of signed up for this. This is part of the Lando package, the emotional roller coaster. And I think part of the reason they like him is because he's nice, because he's human, because he's vulnerable. Right. There's something accessible to that. Where I was like, you know what? I work in the entertainment industry. I got enough ups and downs on my own. You know, people who have a 9-to-5, they work in at an insurance company. You know, fine. You know, they want to live a little. They root for Lando Norris.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't need that in my life.
Right.
But yeah. So then that was very insane to watch him just bin it like that in qualifying, flub the start, and then I was like, okay, well, he's got some work to do. No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
But then I guess at that point he was just like, well, fuck it.
Then it was hero ball. However, I'm not sure what's going to happen with this false start penalty, because there is talk that he's going to have to face some type of penalty in Singapore, because he didn't get to serve whatever penalty he would have gotten. He would have gotten a 5-second penalty a la Alonso, but he never got to serve that. So now there's discussion about, we'll see what happens. There is a world where he has to take, a 3-place grid drop in Singapore. This could have, championship, deciding stuff beyond just today, beyond this race.
See,
there
this
could
is
be
why
a
I'm pissed
further
off.
chance for Lando to capitalize on this.
Well, his ability to capitalize on any of this has been quite limited so far.
We will discuss that. Yes.
But this is why I was pissed off when with the play swap. All the Lando fans have been playing possum. They're like, it's over. Who cares about this play swap? Blah, blah, blah. I've been the one saying, this thing is still up for grabs.
Yes.
This thing is still up for grabs. McLaren, they can't seem to get their act together. Anything could happen to one of these guys.
Right.
I mean, they had one car in the race.
Yeah.
They had one pit stop to do. I mean, could you imagine if they had two?
Excuse me if I can put on my Lando Norris to Lulu hat on for a second.
Yes.
This pit crew has Oscar Piastri bias. They are coming for my boy Lando Norris. We need to do a full interrogation into the pit crew, because that is 2 weeks in a row with a botched pit stop for Lando Norris. He could have at least gotten one more position from that pit stop. Front right. It was front left last time. Now it's front right. I need a full investigation. I need a full investigation.
They diversify. Full investigation? Brian, let's get Pam Bondi on this and have her prosecute. Okay? Let's get some prosecution on this.
Let's get Cash Patel in this bitch.
Let's get Cash Patel to investigate.
All right. Lando to Lulu hat coming off.
Okay.
But,
all right, now it's my turn. Now it's my turn.
Yes.
That's my turn.
Okay.
Oscar was off this weekend. He was distracted. Why? Why was he distracted? Because he can't devote 100% of his military robotic precision to driving the car because he's too busy dealing with this papaya palace intrigue bullshit. Oh, Oscar had a slow pit stop. Lando had a slow pit stop. We got to swap it to make it fair. He's got to deal with the fact that Zach Brown, whenever Lando wins, is smiling his ass off. And whenever Oscar wins, we've seen the pictures, is like arms crossed, fucking looks like somebody fucking ate his lunch. Okay? And Oscar is He's just there to drive the car. You think that guy is like, you think this guy likes playing politics? You think that's what he likes to do? No. No, he likes to get in the car and kill people. But now he's got to fucking sit on Zoom meetings and be like, look, okay, so how are we doing the papaya rules again? Like, he's doing too much of that. Too much of that. And he's having to play out, okay, so if we do and he's doing what all our fans, all of his fans are doing. Okay, so like, he's playing out all the permutations and where you get fucked. And he's trying to be like, okay, so like, how should I run my strategy? What if I have a slow pit stop, but there wasn't, but we didn't do an undercut? You know, what if I'm just ahead? Do I get it then? Like, how do I? He's running all like he's using too much of his CPU on bullshit. Okay, on bullshit. I'm surprised, by the way, that when Lando had a bad stop, that they didn't fucking radio Ferrari and tell Leclerc to give the fucking position back. Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, we're in crazy town. We're in fucking crazy town. And I think that the connection between Oscar's fuck up this weekend and the suspect stop and the suspect switch is connected. You want to talk about conspiracy? I think that there's a connection there. I think Oscar has been feeling torn. Yeah, what's that, Natalie Imbruglia? Torn. Yeah. I'm all out of faith. This is what I feel. Da, da, da. That's how he's feeling right now. And I'm laying this crash at Zach Brown's feet.
All right.
There we go.
In actuality, no, I think that is in there, but I think, there's
a correlation for sure.
I think that's, the pressure that these guys are under, the added like kind of dynamic stuff, that's all in there. I think that there is like a desperation to maybe get out in front of your other person, because then maybe you do get the preferential treatment or whatever. And so, him jumping the start reads to me as that was a little bit of like a desperation move, that he was, desperate to get ahead of Lando because he had that opportunity, and then he has that false start. But I mean, I think it's in, we take for granted Oscar's cool head. And there's just an assumption that, like, Oscar doesn't feel the pressure. Oscar's cool under pressure. Oscar's like, his blood pressure never goes above 120. And I think that we saw that he is human, he is fallible, and he is feeling the pressure of this situation because this week was a spiral from him. And I'm curious to see how he responds to it. I mean, I would think that he would respond well, but I think there was a feeling or a thought. Like last year, he had a good race in Baku. Baku's never been a particularly good track for Lando. He won here last year, and he was coming off of that kind of stuff. There was a sense of like, oh, he's going to be that much more motivated. He's going to like have that edge on Lando when it comes to Baku. And I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how the rest of this year plays out. Andrea Stella, after the race, kind of said, I mean, you talk about the Zach Brown bias. It was interesting. After the race, Andrea Stella was basically saying, like, he said, I think verbatim, Oscar is the most solid driver in the field this year. Oscar's like, he's and so he was kind of like, it was a bad weekend for him, but I think he'll respond well. But for him to kind of say he's the best, like, he basically was like, he's the guy this year, which I also saw was like, whoa, that's a kind of interesting thing to say publicly. We've long kind of like thought that maybe there's like the Zach Brown Lando camp, and then there's the Stella Oscar camp. That feels like maybe a little bit how it's broken up there. But yeah, certainly an opportunity for Lando Norris to capitalize, and an opportunity for Lando Norris to build or cut into that lead that Oscar has. And let's, we discussed Oscar, we discussed his trials and tribulations this week, but then Lando Norris, I think I'm torn because I think that part of it had to do with when they sent him out in qualifying. They sent him out first after a red flag, after it had been kind of drizzling and the water was kind of this like sitting there on the track waiting to be driven over. And then they send him out first, and like he took the beach of the Baku track post rain, and then he was snappy and he was wobbly, and he touched the wall, he touched the wall and he almost crashed, I think in the same place that Oscar did, and then winds up falling down to 7th. And that was really, I think, where that was the deciding factor, because the reality, like part of why this race itself was not particularly great, while qualifying was great, because it is very difficult to pass on a track like this with that long straight where the downforce is kind of like limited. You'd think that it would be easier there, but it's actually not. So not a ton of people made up a bunch of places today. I don't know if there was like a world where Lando was going from 7th to 3rd today. He might have been able to get from 7th to 5th had he not messed up the restart, and had they not fucked up that pit stop. He might have been able to get there. But I think the opportunity was really lost today. It was really lost yesterday.
Wasn't qualifying.
And I'm torn, because it's like a little bit, I think that they were paranoid from last year. They were paranoid from that qualifying. They said the last thing that we want is for him to go last and for another red flag to like catch him out, and then all of a sudden we don't get to capitalize on Oscar being out. But then they send him out fucking first, and he's taking the beach and he doesn't get there. And the people that were in 3rd or 4th, and the person who was last, the person who took that risk and went out last, was Max.
Well, because Max had nothing to lose.
Right.
But in some regards, Lando didn't have that much to lose. That's
right.
Because it's almost like in football where where there's like a defensive penalty and you have like a free play. Oscar's out.
Right.
Getting 8th or 9th, getting a lap in is not going to be good enough to like help Lando in the championship. Right? Starting 7th, that's not really helpful to you. If you really want to capitalize, you have to be in the front, first row, second row. So I mean, hindsight being 2020, I think he probably should have gone somewhere in the middle, right?
Right. Yes.
Go in the Liam Lawson spot,
right,
and not take the beach. He's not like Max, where Max is like, fuck it, I want to win, so I'll just wait.
Right.
And if I start 10th, I start 10th. The season's kind of over for me. So that's kind of probably in hindsight, but they're so tight and cautious. But with Oscar out, it's like I said, they had one car to worry about.
Right.
Let's get him as far up the grid as possible. Right. It's kind of remarkable that they didn't figure that out. And then they blew the one pit stop. They had one pit stop that day.
Right.
And they couldn't.
And it was a crucial pit stop. It wasn't a low stakes pit stop. It was like, we're trying to, do something here. We're trying to fucking, I don't know. Was he doing? He was like doing an overcut.
Well, how many points is
trying
fifth?
To nail the over?
How many points is fifth? Fifth is like 12
fifth
points.
Is 8.
Or 9.
I think
8
fifth
points?
is 8. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been more than a race win. That would have been like he won the race against Oscar.
No, fifth is 10.
10.
6 is 8. He got 7th, where he got 6 points.
Right. So that would have been one place would have been like a race win plus off Oscar, and then another place would have been better than this could have been better than a 1-2 for him.
Yeah, but I think it's interesting because I think that what these last couple weeks have shown us is that the other teams have started to catch up. Red Bull has made a couple of significant jumps so that they're at least around, and if they're around, that Max is going to be there, which he has proven over the last 2 races. And we understand which tracks the McLaren excels at and which tracks the McLaren kind of suffers in. Monza, Baku, those long straights, medium to low downforce, those are tracks that the McLaren doesn't really excel at, especially also when it's cooler temperatures, because where the McLaren really kills everyone else is on tire day.
Yeah.
And they can just manage the heat going into the tires, and the tires can last longer, they can have more grip, and they can actually have that extra speed, but they don't excel in straight line speed. They're not straight line speed. They kill you in the corners, which is why. But then you can look at the next however many races. You look at a place like Vegas And Vegas will probably be a very weak track for McLaren. It'll be similar to this, or it'll be similar to Monza. Even a place like Mexico City, they're so high up. It's a low downforce track. I think it's low downforce, or do they? It's so high up that I think it's low downforce. Remember we had Break on, and he was like, "Which one is it?" And now I can't remember what we even said. But regardless of my stupidity, what I know is, and what the smarter people have said, is that as these other teams have started to catch up, it's not just going to be a foregone conclusion that McLaren's going to be 1-2. So that kind of takes this championship, where it's kind of like, oh, well, if they're just finishing 1-2 every week, then it's going to be that much more of a Herculean task for someone like Lando, who's in that position. It actually kind of bodes, it's in Lando's favor that Max is like throwing his hat into the ring. It's potentially in, on the comeback's favor if there are more if there's more parity.
Not if Oscar. Here's what I was thinking is, not if Oscar could just stay glued to him, because
right.
But when you're when you're in the middle, there's more randomness.
Right. Exactly.
There's more randomness.
Yeah, of course. If they could be 5th and 6th, and it's only a 2-point difference between them each time, then that's different. But I think if there are tracks like going ahead to Singapore, historically one of Lando's best tracks. This is like a Lando fucking track. And if Oscar has a three-place grid penalty, Singapore's a hard track to even pass people on. And if, I think the Red Bulls will actually be weak there. I think that the Mercedes will be weak there. It's actually not a track that benefits them, so it will seemingly be maybe the McLaren's back to form. But if one of these other teams kind of throws their hat into the ring, maybe Ferrari actually like has a strong performance there, and it's a 1st and 3rd or a 1st and 4th, then all of a sudden this championship's blown wide open.
Yeah, well, when Lando had the DNF, I said it was not over, and you were the one time I was optimistic about Lando's chances. You were pessimistic.
Well, I mean, we'll see. But I was expecting this McLaren dominance to just continue, and Red Bull has come in and said no, like we're here.
Well,
Max has won the last 2 races, but even today, Yuki. Yuki, this was the strongest Yuki performance of the whole season. So I think that they're doing things on a fundamental level, on a systemic level there. And the post-Christian Horner Red Bull is actually looking pretty good. Go cop your Hannah Schmitz merch right now. Bankas, this episode is brought to you by our friends at BetMGM. Bankas, this season's getting crazy. If you had money on Carlos Sainz to be on this podium, I don't even want to know what that line would have been. That would have been juicy. And as this season keeps going, we don't know what is going to happen. The McLaren dominance is not as secure as it used to be, which is why it makes it that much more fun to throw some money down at BetMGM on these races. And as you know, we've teamed up with BetMGM this season, and we're using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks. And we have a special offer for our listeners each week. If you haven't signed up yet for BetMGM, use bonus code DADDY, and you will receive up to $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. Here's how it works. You download the BetMGM app and sign up using the bonus code DADDY, because we're fun. Deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game, race, whatever. You will receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your first bet loses. Just make sure you use the bonus code DADDY when you sign up. BetMGM. Make it legendary.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 for New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 for Massachusetts. 21 and over only. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP for Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF for Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 for Puerto Rico. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. See BetMGM.com for terms. U.S. promotional offers not available in New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico.
Well, let's discuss Red Bull. Let's discuss Max. Another win. Yeah.
Looked like a 2023 just vintage. Yeah, I'll be 20. He was a pit stop ahead. He didn't.
Pit stop ahead.
Crazy. Pit stop ahead.
He was able to just pit and clear, and just come out still in first. It was a dominant performance from Max on every aspect of it, from quali to the race. And should we discuss if he could still win it? I mean, people are saying that Max
Singapore is
going to
be tough. Singapore is going to
be tough. He's downplaying it, but I think it's just fun to just like, what he said was everything's going to have to go perfect for me and they're going to have to get unlucky, which is true. But what we saw today is that that's not that crazy, and if they're too busy fighting each other, then maybe there's a world where Max, I don't think he's going to win, but he might get close to that P2 spot. He might start sniffing that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun to consider, like, what if he just, that would be hilarious if he won this.
That would be hilarious.
Here's the thing. If he turned it around and won this one, I don't think even Lando fans and Max haters,
yeah,
even they would be like, I don't think anyone would be like, oh, Max wins again. I think at this point you'd have to be impressed,
dude. If he
it would
was
be exciting.
If he was able to pull off this miracle and win this season, it would be like arguably the greatest comeback in Formula One history.
It might be the greatest comeback in sports history.
I mean, there's like people that are kind of like circling around, is Max the GOAT, right? There's like, and it's starting to become more popular. More people are saying like he's maybe the greatest of all time. He's definitely, on the Mount Rushmore. Like he's up there. If he was able to pull this shit off, I mean, it would be a mic drop kind of moment. It would be mic drop.
Yeah, he might have to just retire.
I think he'd have to retire.
He might have to just fucking retire at the end of the year.
In between going to fucking Hockenheim and getting his license to drive GT. I mean, it's just like he's viewed this year as kind of like a wash. He's like, let me explore my other interests.
Yeah.
Let me kind of get out. Let me
play baseball. Like Jordan, let me play baseball.
Let me go play baseball. It would be
like
as if Jordan, during his baseball year, came back to the NBA and just like for the playoff run, and then they just like, won the championship. He would be cemented as the GOAT if he was able to pull this shit off.
Yeah, I think even Lewis would have to be like, yeah, he's better.
There'd be no denying it. There would be no denying it.
I think it's funny because everyone's like, well, what if somebody else had a chance at being a champion? And we've seen it. No one seems to care. No one seems to care.
Yeah.
And then it's almost like in a TV show where they're like, oh, we don't need that actor anymore. He's asking for too much money. It's like when they brought back not Johnny Depp, Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Like they kill Iron Man. They're like, okay, here's our new lineup for heroes, right?
Yeah.
And everyone was like, fuck, who, what?
Right.
These? And then they're like, oh, shit. Okay, Tony, come back. It's like they got to bring back Max. Max has got to come back because he's the only champion that people give a shit about.
Yeah, there was drop some Bravo knowledge on your ass. There's the Real Housewives of New York was like one of the OG Housewives franchises, and it's arguably like the most iconic. And then like 2 years ago, they were just like, everyone, whole new cast, and it was just all these new people. And they gave them like 2 seasons, but now everyone's like, yo, fuck this. And now there's like talk about like, we got to get the band back together. We need Bethany, Jill, and Ramona back on television. And so there is like discussion around them coming back because these, we tried it. Let's see what these other housewives are like. Let's see what this vibe is. And everyone said, no. Give me the good stuff. It just doesn't, you can't go when you start going back to using a condom, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, Jesus, I just want the real thing. I never cared because I was like only having sex with, I remember using condoms. I was like, I knew sex no other way.
Yes.
And then, then something changed. And now it's like, oh my God.
Something has changed within me. No. I remember when I was in high school.
That's on me.
I remember when I was in high school and, an older guy, like I was in 11th grade. He was in 12th grade. He was like, "You ever done it without a condom?" And I was like, "No." And he goes, "You're still a virgin." And I was like, "No, it can't be." He's like, "You don't even know."
Yeah, dude. No, it's
That's
like
watching Max Verstappen drive. No,
dude,
condom.
Max is your ex you can't stop thinking about. No, I love you, baby. I love you, baby. You're just like checking.
Or you hate him. Or you hate him. You can't stop thinking about how much you hate him. Either way.
Right, but
he's rent-free. Rent-free in the head.
Living rent-free in the head. And we all know, the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference, baby. What the hate is, what's underneath that is the passion. And, watching Max do his thing, it was, we got bored of it when it was happening every weekend, but every time he graces us with his talents, it's just, you gotta revel in it. You gotta be.
The ball's on him, starting on the hards. I'm going to start on the hards.
I'm starting on the hards.
Get on track. Good track position anyway. All the other guys are like, we'll start on medium, so we'll get a good start. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'll start on the hard.
Hannah Schmitz, dude. I don't know, dude. This post Christian Horner, Laurent Mekies looking like a genius right now, dude. Laurent Mekies looking like he's gonna have that job for a long time. I mean, Max seems to love him. Yuki's doing better. The elements of chaos have kind of like simmered down, slowed down over there. And they're making aggressive moves that so far have been paying off. I mean, they cut the wing in Monza. They listened to Max then. They did a kind of ballsy strategy here on the hards at the start of the race from the lead. All of it bodes to Red Bull back to firing on all cylinders.
You know what it reminds me of?
Yeah.
It reminds me of when Kamala Harris got Tim Waltz. And it seemed like this is like the safe pick. Won't offend anybody. Right. Just like a middle of the road pick. But if she had actually won and it worked.
Right.
That's what that's how I felt about it when they hired him. I'm like, this is just a safe pick.
Right.
It wasn't it didn't seem like an inspired pick at the time.
Right. Yes.
But it seems like it actually might be like the right pick, the good pick. Or like Christian was doing or it was just such a toxic, horrible environment that you could have stuck me in there and immediately the vibe would have been better. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure. I think it's probably...
Those are the two options.
I think it's probably a bit of both. I think that people were probably, it's that there was a relief that at least like that saga was over. And Laurent brings a different, mentality to the position and to the job. That I think, has empowered the people around him to make aggressive decisions, which is what we kind of got used to Red Bull as doing. I feel like Red Bull at its peak was kind of like, we're going to do our own thing. We're going to be aggressive. We're going to go for it. And it feels like they're kind of back to doing that. And now, I mean, how far is Max out from the championship? What is the points tally? Max has 255. Lando's got 299. Oscar's got 324. So Max is 69 points behind Oscar, and he's 44 points behind Lando.
The two spots gettable, very gettable.
2 spots gettable.
Even if he got the 2 spot off one of these guys,
that would be epic.
That would be a miracle.
You look at the power struggle of this papaya shit. And, probably that's at least in the pie of what happened to Oscar Piastri this weekend is just the chaos of the last few races and all of the politics that are going on and the different camps. And, it's as much as it wants to feel hunky-dory and everyone's buddy-buddy and everyone loves each other over there, there's tension. There's no way that there's not tension behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm.
Bankers. This episode is brought to you by Hims. No one plans for hair loss. It stresses us out as guys. I'm getting older. I'm in my 30s. It's stressful to think about what's going to happen to the top of my head. When I think about using Hims, it makes me feel better because no one plans for it. But through Hims, you can take the next step with confidence. Access treatments made with clinically proven ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil to stop hair loss and regrow hair in 3 to 6 months. No waiting rooms, no hoops, just ingredients with a track record of results. Hims offers convenient access to a range of prescriptions of hair loss treatments with ingredients that work, including chews, oral medications, serums, and sprays. Doctor-trusted, clinically proven ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil can stop hair loss and regrow hair in as little as 3 to 6 months. You shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself. Hims brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatments that put your goals first. No hidden fees, no surprise costs, just real personalized care on your schedule. Think of Hims as your digital front door that gets you back to your old self with simple 100% online access to trusted treatments from real health concerns, all in one place. For simple online access to personalized and affordable care for hair loss, ED, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/Friday. That's hims.com/Friday for your free online visit, hims.com/Friday. Individual results may vary based on studies of topical oral minoxidil and finasteride. Prescription required. See website for full details, restrictions, and important safety information. And you know where there was no tension today, Matt? At the Williams garage. Everyone was just happy. I mean, everyone was just happy.
Yeah.
James Vowles taking selfies. Alex Albon there with a painful smile on his face. I know everyone's like turning it into like, how cute is this? I'm like, Albon is not happy about this, okay? But I mean, listen,
damn it.
it's
Williams
time,
is
Matt.
fucking solidly in 5th now, right?
It's Williams is solidly in 5th.
God damn it.
I mean, okay. I think we got to do a couple things here. Obviously,
No.
we are
End transmission.
Carlos.
End transmission.
Obviously, we've been Sainz haters, you could say. I took a risk on Alex Albon coming into this year, saying that Alex Albon was going to maybe beat Carlos Sainz in the points a little bit because he was going to have a slight edge. Now, even with this podium, the points tally still is Alex Albon has 70 and Carlos Sainz has 31. So he's still
scoreboard bitches.
Scoreboard is still definitely there. I will before we give because I do want to give Carlos Sainz some flowers because he deserves some flowers. He's had a rough year, but before we get there, I do want to say this as well. His qualifying time that was put him in P2 was from his first run before the first crash when he and I think like one other person were the only people to put in runs before the rain really started.
Thank you.
His run at the end when Lando got P2 and then dropped down to P7, I think he would have been in P6. His run if he had not gotten that first run in. So he had a little bit of like, he got
a little bit of luck.
There was some luck in there. Now
there was 95% luck.
On Saturday,
yeah.
there was definitely luck. He was able to
put
it together on Sunday. He was able to put it together on Sunday. But and here's what I'll say is that he has arguably had not great luck this year, so he was probably due a little bit of good luck. He's had some shit luck this year, so it's about time he had some luck go in his favor. And listen, he had that, but he was able to hold on to P2, never really in doubt, even though Liam Lawson was there as his arch nemesis. And he was able to get there, even with George Russell kind of breathing down his neck a little bit, but he was able to hold on to that P2. And, podium for... Oh, no, he didn't get P2. Was he P3? What did he get today? Yeah, he got P3. So George Russell was able to get by him, but he's got a podium. Williams got a podium. Got to give a little bit of flowers.
Yeah, and then what does he say? This is my first smooth operation.
He's really got to stop with that. He's really got to stop with that.
So fucking cringe to me.
He's got to stop.
You can't give yourself a nickname and then that's like if my name was Zach and I was like, it's Zach Attack. You know?
Right.
Dude, he has such pretty privilege. It's fucking insane. Do you understand?
He's pretty.
Do you understand if he was like a 7 and did that, people would think it was cringe? If he was a 7.
Right.
If I was like, Majestic Matt in the building.
Magic Matt. Yeah.
Magic Matt in the building.
Where my hug at? Where my hug at? It's the smooth operator has entered the building.
I'm a smooth operator. What's up? Like I can't. It's like so cringe. And then he did that run I'm sorry, but if he has such pretty privilege, he did that run.
Let him
he
run.
ran. I was so honestly, I'm a Carlos Sainz Delulu hater, but even I was like, oh boy, this is about to be the greatest crowd jump in the entire F1 history. I was like, yes. I've never seen a guy run from this far out. He's running, stops, stutter steps, and then does the most pathetic leap. Like he does all that running just to stop. No, you got to do the fucking Lambo, like in the fucking
dude. That's
Packers
what Max
Stadium.
does.
Yeah,
he just fucking
Max
dives
in.
Crowd surfs.
Yeah.
Dude,
Max's
Max's feet were almost fully over the barriers. I'm like, is that like against Park Fermé? Is he gonna get disqualified from this race if he fucking like goes too far into the crowd?
Yeah, Max's body is way more valuable than yours, dude. I mean, his wrists, his ankles. Are you kidding me, dude? He has such pretty privilege. It's the shit that he gets away with is a war crime. And then the other thing is, I mean, it's crazy how hot he is. I'll give it to him. He's so hot. It's so funny. I was watching qualifying the other day, and my girlfriend comes in, and she's just like watching him being interviewed.
Yeah.
And she just goes, why doesn't he just become a model? And I was like flabbergasted. He was just the way she objectified him. Like, why does he go through all this? He's just
right.
It's like something you would say to a pretty girl who tried to, go to a good college. Like, why?
Right.
Like,
yeah. You could get any man you wanted. You could get a rich, handsome man. You never have to work a day in your life.
Yeah. So that's honestly why I respect him the most, is that he's that hot and he tries that hard.
He tries that hard, dude.
And he's smart. He's so smart. But yeah, like the fucking smooth operator thing, I think is cringe. Whatever. I've hit it. He got fucking lucky on Saturday.
Well, here's the reality. Here's also the reality. He's this year. The points tally does not like speak exactly to his talent this year so far. But I think that my original kind of like point with him and where our like Carlos Sainz Delulu haters kind of comes from was that there was like this vibe of him like that he was built up too high, that they were like, he's maybe better than Leclerc, and how could they and people are making a mountain out of this, like Carl, even producer Brian in the chat, Carlos Podium before Lewis Podium. Streets are taking notice. Camera people are taking notice too. People are making this
dude,
mountain out of a fucking nothing hill, dude. Lewis still fucking 8-time champ. I'll fucking like. I would still take Lewis Hamilton. I'll give him a year. We'll see how next year goes.
I mean,
still do that.
I will say this: I am a Carlos Sainz hater, but I guarantee you, Carlos Sainz would be doing better in that Ferrari than Lewis.
Definitely,
guaranteed. I mean, it's not even close.
Yeah, definitely.
Carlos Sainz has proved that he could adapt,
he knew. Well, but there was nothing to adapt to. He was already in that car. He knew that.
Yeah, but he adapted right away.
Sure.
His first year at Ferrari, he was he was right there. So he's sad. He's like, I mean, even today, I mean, I'll say the positive things about Carlos Sainz. I mean, even today, he was playing strategy in the fucking, he was like, don't let me get undercut. Like, this is what I think we should do.
Right.
He's a fucking genius.
Yeah.
He's a genius. He's level-headed. He's had bad luck this year. So he's gotten into dumb crashes, though. I mean, that isn't.
It's not all been bad luck.
It's not all been bad luck.
Yeah.
I think that I think maybe some Carlos Sainz fans are actually probably vindicated by how bad Lewis is doing. But you can't get mad at Ferrari for trying. I mean, it's fucking epic to bring Lewis to Ferrari.
Yeah. And guess what? They're not winning championship. They're not winning championships anyway.
Yeah.
And they still might get P2 in the they still might get P2 in the constructors.
Right.
So And we'll see. And honestly, the jury's, I mean, I think next year will be the real, like, if you bought the Lewis Hamilton stock, I think you don't sell until you see how next year goes. I think it's still premature to sell now.
True. But I think he would have been very helpful for them in the constructors this year for sure.
Definitely.
So yeah, don't say anything nice about him.
However, honestly, the constructors is not that. Charles has 165 points. Hamilton has 121. It's 40 points.
Really?
Yes. People want to turn it into like this is some crazy thing. And Charles has 5 podiums, but Lewis has 0, and he's only 40 points behind Charles. And we've had a lot of races. I mean, I just.
Lewis does that, dude. He's like the tortoise. He just kind of quietly, he's kind of chips in there. He's always
sneaky.
kind of, yeah.
Carlos Sainz and Lewis Hamilton both losing to their teammates this year.
Yeah,
it's just that doesn't change that. I was hoping for a Liam Lawson podium, dude.
Oh yeah.
This is a big week for him. This is a big week. Friend of the pod, Liam Lawson. I mean, you know, he's had some fucking year, dude. And
yeah.
And then for the Hadjar podium to happen,
that must have stung.
That must have stung, and obviously, like, kind of Hadjar's become all the kind of talk is around him maybe going to Red Bull next year. Though I'm still unconvinced as to what they're going to do there. It seems like it depends on kind of a little bit on who's fully calling the shots. But if Laurent has something to say about it, I feel like at least Yuki is. I think Yuki's going to stay in that seat potentially, and I don't know how much of a shakeup they're going to do. But I mean, it depends on who's calling whatever shots. But this was a huge week for him. Ton of pressure on him.
Who gets dropped? Who gets dropped then?
For Lindblad, if they have to put they're like we're going to have to put Lindblad in.
Well, I have a hard time seeing Helmut Marko not wanting him to come through, not wanting to play with his new toy.
Yeah, but Red Bull just has. It's like it's worked twice for Red Bull. It worked with Vettel and it worked with Max, but it's not worked with almost everyone else. The rushing through, and even though and we're seeing that it's tough for Kimi this year, and we're seeing that it's just like, but then you look at a guy like Oscar. Oscar was a reserve for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Oscar was on the sidelines for a little bit with like a kind of we're going to get you in here. We're going to get you in here. But why don't you kind of get into here and learn how it goes, and so then you can actually, have a little head start in your rookie season as opposed to kind of coming off of F2 when you've skipped F3 and just, you're thrown to the dogs. So I think, and now this year you can't necessarily point to Liam's performance. Like he still might beat Isaac in the points this year, even with Isaac's podium. I mean, Isaac this year has 39. Liam has 30. I mean, that's still.
Oh yeah, that's up for grabs.
That's still up for grabs. So I think it was a huge week for him. We've done we at least kind of know him now. We see him at. I went to a Soho House once and he was there and we like dapped it up and chatted, and he's had a fucking.
Why
rough
wasn't
go.
I invited? Why wasn't I invited?
I wasn't hanging out at the Soho House. I was waiting in the lobby while my girlfriend did a healing session with her healer in New Zealand, and Liam it was after Silverstone.
Oh my God! Did you it was a New Zealand connection? So random.
Oh, I didn't. I should have told. Dude, there was something cosmic happening there.
Dude, you should
something cosmic.
You could have talked to him for another 5 seconds.
Yes. What else should we?
I'm sure he would have loved that connection.
He would have. loved
my girlfriend's talking to a healer, and she's from New Zealand. Maybe you know her.
Yeah, obviously, I left. Obviously, I left that one out, bro. Left out the woo woo. Bankers, I'm a busy guy. I live in New York City. My kitchen is the size of a porta potty. I don't have the space or the time to cook meals for myself. I wind up going on these apps and spending $1 million American dollars that I don't have, which is where Every Plate has changed the game for me. Every Plate is a meal delivery service that makes cooking at home so much easier and way more delicious at a price point that you'll actually love. No meal planning or stressful trips to the store. Just easy recipes and high-quality ingredients delivered to your doorstep. From crispy buffalo ranch chicken to caramelized onion smash burgers, their mouth-watering menu features your favorite restaurant dishes. I don't know what I'm doing. Right, especially with my kitchen's limited. I can't do that much. I've just avoided it altogether. But with Every Plate, they lay everything out for me, and it makes cooking at home so much easier and so much more affordable. Because I know you're going to be asking yourself, this has got to cost a lot, right? Nope. Every Plate is actually cheaper than the grocery store. Stick to your budget without any surprises, and that's the beauty of everyday low prices. Every Plate's pre-proportioned ingredients give you exactly what you need, how you need it, the right portions to make it less mess, which is a total lifesaver, especially in my tiny apartment on busy nights when cleanup is the last thing that you want to do. 98% of customers surveyed say that they save time meal planning with Every Plate. 98% of customers say that Every Plate makes dinner planning less stressful. They say that the meals are delicious. I mean, these are amazing stats here. 98% of customers say that it reduced the mental load of meal planning and cooking, and that is very true. That is what I have found. I love me some Every Plate. Try Every Plate and get $1.99 per meal on your first box. Go to everyplate.com/redflags199 and use code redflags199 to claim your offer. That's code redflags199 at everyplate.com and get $1.99 per meal on your first box. Save on deliciously easy recipes with Every Plate. Should we go to our awards?
For sure.
For sure. Okay, hottest moment of the day.
There wasn't a lot of sexy moments. What are the people saying? Let's open up.
I
to
mean,
democracy.
it's either Sainz Podium or Max winning.
I'll give it Sainz Podium, but you know, he won driver of the day, and they showed the picture of him. I'm like, why can they never get a good picture of this guy? It's crazy. He's so fucking hot. It's crazy how they always fuck it up.
They need to get a different photographer to like do the official shots. They need someone who understands like how to capture the beauty.
Yeah.
It's great. It's like
sometimes he's got double chin. Sometimes he's got two chins. I'm like, how did you do that?
It's the joke of people, put it on like TikTok and Instagram where it's like photos that I took of my boyfriend during vacation, and it's all like great photos. And it's just like photos my boyfriend took of me, and it's all like the girl just looking like absolute shit. It's like bad boyfriend photographer who takes these official F1 photos. Like these guys are so hot. Find someone who understands angles and lighting, please. Light and shadow. I'll give it to Carlos Sainz Podium as well. We can get to this. I'll get to this after. Daddy of the day.
James Valls, but it's a very smug type of dad where it's like, yeah, when you have a kid that goes to Harvard, it just, when you talk to a dad who's like just proud of his kid in the smuggest way, thinks their kid is so much better than your kid.
Everyone, get in for a selfie at Carlos's graduation. Hey, him taking that selfie was such dad energy. This is so true.
He was such a smug Ivy League. Like, my son is a podium finisher, dad of a podium finisher, a bumper sticker. He's so fucking annoying. He's so
Trust
fucking
the process.
Annoying.
Trust the process. I'm with you on that.
And then he was like, when they interviewed him, he goes, I've been a part of many podiums. And I was like, shut the dude. He goes, but this one will hold a special place in my heart. Like acting like he's been there before.
I think I think Carlos said something like that too.
Yeah, they both had to like establish that they've been there before.
Yeah. Just
They've both been like, I've been on the podium before. I've been on the podium before.
Think Lewis or Max ever have to say that? I don't think so.
Right. They don't have to. Max doesn't have to be like, I've won a lot of races.
Yeah.
But this race was extra special. It's like, bitch, you know what it is.
Yeah. Radio of the day.
Lewis, damn, these guys are fast. He's so Nickelodeon coded. He's like remember that show Rocket Power?
Of course.
It's like something a kid in a cartoon would say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Man, these guys are fast.
Yeah, it's out of Fast and the Furious. Like,
yeah. It's a line. It's a line out of a movie.
Yeah. But you know what it is? And this is what I think is interesting. I think that the Ferrari pit wall has learned how to... They're not good at it yet, but they at least know like what Lewis wants in those moments. What he wants is encouragement. So he said like, damn, these guys are fast. And they were like, you can do it, Lewis. Put your head down. You have the pace. Really, like, you're an amazing guy. You're awesome. And I think, we talked earlier in this year when like that they were just kind of giving him negative energy or just kind of neutral or just stats. And like what Bono was so good at was being like, it's hammer time, Lewis. Like, you got this, man. Like, you got it. You're the best. And don't like Lewis. You can win this. Lewis, you can win this, really.
Yeah.
And I think
it's like they're like do I look fat in this dress? I don't know. Do you feel fat in it?
Yeah, exactly. And now they're like, no. Now they're like, no, Lewis, you look amazing. You're amazing.
You look amazing in this dress.
You have the best body in the world.
Body is Steve.
And also, face card is never declined.
Never declined.
Yeah, so I think that was great. Also, I enjoyed George Russell's just like fuck when Kimmy almost ran him off track. George Russell had an amazing weekend, gotta say. Just he had some type of viral infection, something. He was, I think, like he was sick. He wasn't there on Thursday. Felt like shit. Then like Kimmy almost runs him into the wall. Runs him off the fucking road. Yeah. Then he has so much pace in those hard tires that then they say, okay, they pit Kimmy, but kind of to give way for George to do his thing. Yeah. George is like, he's like, I could get him. Then he gets him, and George had this quiet race where he went from like fourth to second.
Yeah.
And gets a podium. It was also so funny. We were talking about like the podium celebrations afterwards. It was like Max was so hype, ran to his guys, is doing like they're lifting him up in the air. Carlos Sainz doing a fucking like his best Usain Bolt impression before stopping and but they're so hype. And then you see George Russell's like, hello, just like hello everyone.
Another
feel
day
like
at the office. I feel like shit. Toto won't renew my contract, and
yes. And then I mean, this is bullshit. I'm pulling off miracles. No one gives a fuck. Toto won't give me the deal that I want. And and in the meantime, all he wants is Max Verstappen. I fucking hate my life. I fucking feel like shit. And I was still able to pull this off. And then on the podium, he's like spraying the champagne. And he's just barely participating. And they're spraying him, and he just turns his head. He's just like, no, I'm not getting that shit in my fucking eyes. Get the fuck away from me. I will do the bare minimum and participate in this podium celebration.
There's nothing funnier than someone sad spraying champagne. I saw this clip at F1 Academy. I think it was like Maya Vaig. Was like didn't win, and she was just very sad, and she was just like, she's the Ferrari Academy driver, and she was just like just perform like going through the motions of spraying champagne. It was like fucking hilarious.
It's a beautiful juxtaposition.
The other iconic moment was was Oscar just sitting in the shitty chair. We love this now. The real people, that should get the raise are the people that should do they started on the feet.
Yes.
It's like all these people went to film school, you know? And then, they zoom out and it's Oscar just watching. Clearly must have been watching himself on the phone.
I mean, he was watching the race.
Yeah, but he was watching the broadcast.
He would have seen, it was probably on like a little bit of a delay, but yes, he would have absolutely seen himself. He would have seen that shot like immediately after.
Watching himself.
Yes.
Beautiful. It was like something out of that Bo Burnham special.
Inside.
You know,
yeah.
Inside, you know, where it's like himself, it's like picture in picture in picture. That was incredible. And then apparently like he had to walk through the streets of Baku.
Yeah.
To get back, and there's like it's like him. It's like out of I Am Legend. He's just like walking through the streets alone in his race outfit. It was iconic.
That was amazing. I mean, he crashed in a spot that I think that like they were like, no one crashes here. It was not like a spot that they were like ready for. You know, okay. Well, people are gonna crash here, so we need to make sure that we have like a fast track back to the paddock here. He was just seemingly stuck there. And just borrowed some marshal's phone to watch the race. This is what happened with Leclerc in Zandvoort.
Lando was
same thing
too.
And Lando got stranded. Yeah, I mean, you know, it can be, especially in the street circuits and some of these circuits, it's like very hard to, you know, find your way back to the paddock. And he was, stranded there, and I guess was like, I'm like, was he listening? Did he have headphones? I don't think he had headphones.
He couldn't have had headphones. I love how exclusive this sport is and how like these drivers are so unattainable. And it's like you will never, ever see or heat or touch these drivers. They're in like private jets. They're in the paddock.
Right.
You'll never get near them. But like there are certain moments, if you crash at a certain time, they're just sitting on they're like sitting on the shoulder of a highway, basically.
Yeah.
They're literally stranded with Gen Pop.
Yeah, with all of the money that goes to the sport, they like at the end of the day, Charles Leclerc was just on that hill and sitting in that fucking shitty chair.
Yeah,
and Oscar's got his feet up.
Yeah,
he might as well have had like a fucking Diet Coke with him, just like Karen of the day.
I mean, there wasn't much. Not that much happened.
Wasn't much Karen energy.
Yeah, like when people got penalized, but it was like I think Albon got in trouble. He hit Colapinto, and they were like, they're like, you didn't get a penalty for that." And he was like, "Yeah, I fucking nailed him."
Yeah,
and then when Alonso got the false start, he was like, "Yeah."
He's like, "I was watching Piastri."
He's like,
I wonder if old man Alonso at this point is like, who's the young person in front of me? I'll just go off of them and fuck the lights. You know what I mean?
Can't even see that far.
I can't even see that far. I'll just go off. Oh, Piastri's in front of me. Great. I'll just go off him.
Yeah, he has great starts.
He's got great starts. Yeah, not much. Dare I say, no Karen this week?
Gotta be.
I mean, at one point George was like, I could get ahead of him. You know, you should swap the positions.
But then
at one point they
But then he did get ahead of him.
Yeah, he was right. Yeah,
he was right.
They swapped.
He called the police on a real criminal.
Yeah. The criminal was Kimi Antonelli's pace.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, for once in the history of the show, no Karen.
No Karen.
Or you know what? I'll give it to the front right Jackman for fucking up Lando Norris's race because they're suspect. They're suspect. And red flag of the day. Maybe that's what that one should be. Red flag. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to the McLaren pit crew, baby. McLaren pit crew, 2 races in a row.
Yeah.
First, you fucking put this nightmare of a political situation into effect, and then you've got one. At this point, you got one job, baby. You got one car to deal with, and a 4-second pit stop, and he comes out like a second behind this little pack.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. Get your shit together. I remember what you said when we talked to Zach Brown last year, and what Zach Brown said a lot last year. He says, we'll make mistakes, but we never make them twice. We don't make the same mistake twice. And that was the McLaren ethos. Like,
this was front right. Last week was front left.
Dude, you're so fucking right.
Boom, roasted.
Boom, roasted. Found the flaw in your plan. Found the flaw in your theory. Fuck you, suck my dick.
Yeah.
Now get your red flag, McLaren fucking pit crew.
Yeah.
All right. Fuck, marry, kill this podium. That cool down room was awkward. It was awkward, dude. Between like George and Max hating each other, it felt like the dads. Like there's been so much kid energy in the cool down room this year between Oscar and Lando. It's like the teenagers, and then when Charles is there, it's like the three teenagers are together, and then like when Max is with them, it's kind of like dad's here, and then we're the kids. And this just felt like the three. It felt like the three husbands that are forced to hang out because their wives are friends. That's what that cool down room felt like.
Yeah,
it felt like forced proximity to like other men who you would never choose if you had your druthers.
That's the worst situation.
Yeah. I mean, there's been bad blood between, like Sainz and Max started their careers out together. That did not go great. All these guys have been in F1 now for a bit. They're like kind of becoming the elder statesmen. And there was just kind of like yeah. Traffic was crazy. Traffic's crazy this time of year. Yeah. Yeah, the weather. Yeah, I know. A couple more weeks of fall. What do you think before winter starts coming out?
So you're doing CrossFit now, I hear. Yeah, CrossFit.
But I heard it's bad for the joints. I had to stop. It's bad for my shoulders. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Max, George, Carlos Sainz. Fuck, marry, kill.
Fucking Max, killing George.
Wow. You're going to marry Carlos Sainz? I mean, you're a masochist.
I'll marry Carlos Sainz.
I love it. I'm just to marry George.
Just you know why? You know why?
Yeah.
Because it would piss so many people off.
if you married Carlos
all the haters would be like, he's with him.
Dude, enemies to
he's with him. They would get so mad.
Dude, I'm going to marry
all these
George
parasocial fucks would get so mad.
I'm going to marry George Russell because even when he feels like shit, Daddy still gets the job done.
Yeah.
There's no days off. They say that when you have kids. There's no days off when you have kids. No sick days when you have kids.
Yeah.
And George Russell still got it done even when feeling bad. It hasn't happened much this year, so I'm gonna fuck Carlos Sainz for because I'd be silly not to. And I know I'm gonna have many more opportunities to have fun with Max Verstappen this year, so I'll kill Max. Singapore is next. What you thinking?
You're the track guy. How do you think McLaren's going to do on these tracks?
I think seemingly, in theory, Singapore should be like that's a McLaren track, and seemingly,
yeah,
the Williams are good on the with their the cars that are good on the top straight line speed have been the Red Bulls, the Williams, and even at times the Ferraris, though they've not been great anywhere. So I think Singapore should, in theory, should be a McLaren track.
Oscar Lando Leclerc. Oscar's going to come back. Oscar bounced back from Australia too. People sleep on that.
I think that it's going to be Lando, Leclerc, Oscar in third. He's got that. I think he's going to have to serve a penalty. I think it's going to be, another notch out of that championship lead might go to my boy Lando Norris. Okay, Venkas. That just about does it. Make sure that you have bought your tickets. Get your tickets to our live show with Gunter, baby. These tickets are going fast. If you want a good seat, you better get it now. You better get it now while it's still around. And also, but before we go, we got to thank our daddies of the pod. We got to thank Kayla, Robin, Jordan Texera, Jay Lingle, Spencer Grieve, Javier Mera, Sheila Valeri, Chandler, Ali Santana, Carla Juarlo, Kimberly Whalen, Alonso of My Face 69, Donya Denad, Deadbeat Daddy Muhammad, Jimmy, Kimmy, sponsored by Mommy of the Pod, Hollister 584, Delusional Science Fan, I hope you're having a good time, Kat, Future Dog Toward Dion, Steph Grossi, JB Fresh, Laura, Emily Gillenwater, Cody Hull is my F1 daddy, Branch W, keep up the science hate, Hunter Scruggs, Salmonella, Mozzarella, I'm a Leclerc fan, and yes, it hurts. Jay Kess. George Russell is evil Peter Parker from Spider-Man 3. Matt Edwards is always right. I wish I was Max and Danny's love child. Delaney Andrews, Henry Caskey, Miles Lewis Alexander, Meggie B, Kaylee Breyer, Eve with a Y, Devin, a.k.a. the future Dr. Sullivan's PA, Courtney Frazier, Yuki Tsunoda's other mother. Jenny is the reason I am a daddy. Megan, Aaron, Pineapple with a Y. Matt has a secret boner for Carlos Sainz. Unfortunately, it's Gary. Carolina, my name is AJ and fuck the HOA. K-Man can fuck smash my door any day. The official F1 race program and executive editor, Sarah. I got tickled by the Tifosi. Hey, Jet, good luck out there. Allison Sane, Zhuzh, F1 Dude Company, Trent Slickman, Code Brown Sonoda, Jerome Ferreira, Cullah Pinto is a fraud, Aaron, Shahid Jeans Rockstar Chohun, Shake and Bake, Cata Lick My Balls, Stay Fierce, Charles Leclerc, Truth Bringer, Mama Burns, Arthur Leclerc is hotter, Car Loss Signs, Not Today, OP Goblin, Right Meow, James, DNCTT, Finney, Daddy Kev, Not Magnuson, Mike, Bobby, and honorary Daddy of the Week. This week, every week, she had a rough. Nicole P.S. She must have had a tough time. Had a tough time today. But you know what? She probably felt good about Yuki Tsunoda holding off Lando Norris.
He came through for his little bro.
Yuki Tsunoda talked about doing some like good stuff for Matt. You know, it's like I'm glad I didn't go for it or like whatever. Like he kind of implied that it was maybe because if he had caused a safety car, it might have screwed over Max. The real person that he was helping today was Oscar. So shout out to him, shout out to Nicole. And if you want to become a daddy of the pod, go to patreon.com/TRFpod and join the resistance today. We do live hangouts. If you're on the $10 tier, obviously if you're a daddy, we shout you out every episode. And we do every single qualifying. We do an instant reaction. You can only get that here. If you want more of this goodness, go over to patreon.com/TRFpod. Okay, Vegas. Goodbye.